Sure, it's done. Do you want to close it? You want to close it? Every time I get on my computer, yeah, the thing that pops up like, hey, please, so and so's birthday, so and so's birthday, so and so's birthday, and it just keeps coming. Like, is that? Oh my gosh, no, okay. I'm aware. Again. Hold that. How long is it until? I don't know. Oh, wow.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our online orientation for advanced standing students who have chosen to focus on children and families. I am Dr. Diane Mitschke. I'm the director of our master's program here at UTA, and I am excited to welcome you today to graduate school. So we're going to spend the next hour and a half together talking a little bit about what you can expect in our program. I'm going to introduce you to some of the resources that we have in place to support you along your journey. And I'm going to introduce you to some of the curriculum so that you can get an idea of what you'll be learning in the MSW program. I would ask that for the duration of the conference, if you will keep your microphone muted and your video feed off, it will help everyone be able to hear and will also minimize some of the feedback that we can get when we do a virtual conference like this. There will be time at the end of the orientation for you to ask any questions, and we'll do that using the chat feature. So what I would ask is that you hold your questions until until the end of the session, and then I promise we'll get to all of the questions that you have. So I see a couple of you that still have your video feed on. If you can go ahead and at the bottom part of your screen, you should see a picture of a video camera. If you can click on where it says stop video, you'll just have your name showing. And then if you can also, right next to that is your microphone button. You should see a little picture of a microphone, and to mute it, you just click on the microphone and then it should mute itself. So as I said, you'll be actually using the chat feature to ask questions at the end of our conference today. So if everyone can do me a favor and go ahead and just type me a quick hello so that I can make sure that you all are able to hear me and that you understand the chat icon. Excellent. I see tons and tons of hellos. That's fantastic news. We have about 52 people on the call today, so I think that's great. We're going to go ahead and get started. What I'm going to do is walk you through a PowerPoint presentation, and then at certain points during the presentation, I'll switch and actually show you some different things on various websites. And so so for most of the conference, you won't see my face like this. You'll actually see the screen that I'm sharing with you. But I'm still here, and you'll hear my voice. So I also want you to know that this conference is being recorded. So if you have to step away at some point during the conference, you will have access to the video recording of this orientation after the fact. So, all right. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me share my screen with you. All right, you should now be seeing a PowerPoint presentation. It's the MSW Online Cohort Orientation, Direct Practice with Children and Families, Fall 2019. That should be what you see on your screen now. So as I said, all of you, oh my gosh, look at this. I messed this up already. I forgot to change this slide. I'm so sorry. Let me confuse you right off the bat. Ignore this one. We are right now talking about children and families, not direct practice in mental health and substance abuse, but instead direct practice in children and families. I changed all of the other slides except for that one, so please forgive me. I am going to make sure that I did not just pull up the wrong presentation, because that would be a problem. Let me just make sure that we're good to go here. So give me 2 seconds while I make sure I don't screw this up for you. 1 second. Okay. Yep, we're good. Okay. So sorry about the little snafu there. I just wanted to make sure that I was telling you the right thing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to sharing my screen with you. All right. Here we go. So, are you in the right place? Well, let's make sure I'm in the right place. We are looking at advanced standing students. So that means you're coming in with a bachelor's degree in social work that you earned within the last 6 years. You have chosen an online-only cohort program. You have chosen either the 12-month program, which is what we call an accelerated advanced standing program. Those students will graduate in August of 2020, so 1 year from today. The other option is the 16-month online program, which extends the 12-month program by 1 semester. So you'll graduate in December.
It's my orientation. It's my online, because it's an online thing.
Or the 24-month program, which is one of our part-time programs. You may, if you're in that third group, we have a very, very small number of you that have chosen the part-time program this semester. So you may be hearing from your academic advisor in terms of adjusting your schedule. We're not sure that we're going to be able to extend that cohort for the 24 months. And so your advisor may be approaching you and asking you to consider some other options rather than the 24-month cohort program. So I just kind of wanted you to know that if you have concerns about that, if you fall into that group and you have not yet heard from your advisor, please reach out to your advisor or let me know, and we'll get you hooked up with the right information that you need. Otherwise, all of you in the room now should be advanced standing online children and families. So I've posted the accelerated advanced standing degree plan for you. This is those students that have chosen the 12-month program. And this should look very familiar to you. This is what your advisor shared with you already. You will be taking 8-week courses throughout most of the program. with some 16-week courses smattered in. So you'll start this fall semester by taking 2 courses in the first 8 weeks, Advanced Micro Practice and Direct Practice with Children and Families. And then in mid-October, you'll switch up and take 2 other courses in the second 8 weeks, Stress, Crisis, and Coping and Personal Relationships. Then throughout the entire 16-week semester for the fall, you'll also be taking a Research and Evaluation Methods course. So that's kind of how your degree plan works each semester. You can see that in spring you'll start your field placement, and then you'll finish it up in the summer semester, and after that you'll graduate. So it's a pretty quick program for you all. This is the 16-month online program for direct practice in children and families. So this one is different in the sense that you will not be taking 8-week classes. You'll only be taking 16-week classes. So your classes will span the entire semester. And you'll start in the fall with Advanced Micro Practice, Direct Practice with Children and Families, and then Social Policy and Child Welfare. You'll start your
Are you talking to me?
in the summer and then finish it up in the fall term. So that's kind of what those degree plans look like. I've not posted the part-time degree plan on here. If you're in that program, again, reach out to your advisor so that they can help you figure out what the best plan is for you moving forward, since we have so few of you that have selected that plan. In terms of the coursework that you can expect, I kind of wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown on what you'll be learning. So I'm going to use this 16-month program as just kind of what we're going to look at here, simply because the classes are the same regardless of which degree plan you're in. As long as your Children and Families Advanced Standing, you're taking the same classes. So your Advanced Micro Practice class is the class that's really going to introduce you to advanced level social work practice. Since you got your BSW, you're coming in with a generalist knowledge of social work practice, and now you're kind of upping the ante. So you're learning about advanced skills and how to engage with more complex clients. At the really core class of your degree plan is the Direct Practice with Children and Families course, and that's going to introduce you to your advanced specialty area. So that's where you're going to get information about dealing with complex issues facing children, interventions that are evidence-based, related to assessments, related to evaluation of practice. So kind of your overall deep dive into practice with children and families and the issues that we face as social workers when we're working with children and families. You'll take a social policy and child welfare class. This is going to introduce you to policy issues that impact children and families. You'll talk a lot about the history of child welfare in America. You'll also talk about how we can advocate for some of the gaps in terms of the care that children and families receive. And so it will really span across many different areas of social policy that relate to children and their families. You'll take a research and evaluation class. This is an advanced level research class. Its focus is mostly on evaluating your own practice. So you'll learn skills in terms of actually evaluating the types of interventions that you're using in your practice, and learn how to see whether or not the things you're doing with your clients are actually making a positive difference, which is a really key part of making sure you're effective in your practice. And so that class will give you those skills to be able to do that. Brain and behavior, which you'll see next there, and it is one of our integrated theory and practice courses. It, along with intimate partner violence, integrate theories behind human behavior with actual practice interventions. So in brain and behavior, you're looking at neuroscience, and you're looking at what we know about the brain and how the brain is affected by different influences, both positive and negative, and how that impacts our clients' behavior. And then in intimate partner violence, our other integrated theory and practice class, you're going to learn about kind of the core issues surrounding violence in families and interventions related to intimate partner violence, and what we as social workers know about why violence happens in families, and what we know about evidence related to effective interventions designed to curb the violence and the aftermath of violence. You'll take a seminar in family therapy class, which obviously focuses on family therapy techniques. You'll learn about best practices in terms of assessing and intervening with complex family systems. And then treating parent and child relationships will kind of dive deeper into how to intervene when parents and children are in conflict, with a particular focus on adolescence and adolescent development. Personal relationships is your final elective, and you'll learn kind of about relationships between all different kinds of pairs. So you'll learn about intimate partner relationships, as well as social relationships, and the ways that social workers can intervene and do different kinds of therapeutic interventions when conflicts occur in relationships. You'll finish the program with Integrative Seminar, which is what we call our capstone course. This kind of brings all of your other coursework together, and is an intensive writing course where you'll write a comprehensive case study based on a client in your internship. And you'll integrate many of the things you've learned throughout the program into this case study paper that you'll write in that class. So that's kind of a rundown of the curriculum that you can expect as children and family students. I know that you're online students, but if you find yourself in the area, some of you I know are local. If you ever find yourself in the DFW area, please stop by the Arlington campus. We'd love to see you in person. And introduce you to the physical campus as well. This is a picture of our building. We are located on the far north end of the UTA Arlington campus, and we are led by our Dean, Dr. Scott Ryan, Associate Dean, Dr. Deborah Woody, and I, as I said before, am Dr. Diane Mitschke, and I'm just thrilled to welcome you to our program. I would encourage you to get connected with the school. We are really active in social media. We've got social media, a presence in social media across all of these different platforms. So I would encourage you to engage with us in whichever way feels comfortable for you. We post lots of information about current events and research happening at the school, as well as opportunities for involvement, scholarships, things like that. So whatever your preferred social media platform, I hope that you'll connect with us. You can do that directly by going to the School of Social Work's website and scrolling down to the bottom. You'll see all of these different icons, and that way you can add us to your own personal media platform. I would also encourage you to download the UTA mobile app. This is an app that you can download for free on your smartphone. It's just another way to kind of get connected with the school, see what's going on, see what research is happening, what news is going on with your Mavericks. I want to say that I think you've made an excellent choice in choosing the School of Social Work here at UTA. I personally have been at UTA for 13 years. I came here in 2006. I think we have a great program. We're one of the largest schools of social work in the country. We have 1,400 master's students. About half of those are online, like yourselves. Another half are face-to-face here in our Arlington and in our Fort Worth campus. Because of our size, we're able to really offer a unique brand of social work to students. We're able to offer some pretty unique classes that you might not find in other schools that are smaller. The types of electives that you're able to have as a children and family student, really diving deeply into some of those courses that I mentioned, like intimate partner violence and treating parent and child relationships. Those are courses that are really specialty courses that are going to give you a leg up when you're thinking about applying for jobs and having some specialized expertise in dealing with the challenges that children and families face. So I think you've made a good choice. I'm excited to welcome you to our program. We're ranked number 22 in the nation for most affordable MSW programs, which is really great, and ranked number 1 in Texas for veteran friendliness. We've got lots of veterans here in our program. If you're a veteran, welcome. We're happy to serve you and glad that you chose us. We have a lot of different kinds of veteran services available through the university, so I would encourage you to reach out and access those as you need them. We're also ranked number 3 among MSW programs across the country by graduateprograms.com, and that number 3 ranking is specific to our online MSW programs. So we're really excited to be able to say that we're ranked number 3 in the country, and you should be excited because that's the program that you've decided to participate in. So welcome to graduate school. I think that you're going to enjoy your time studying your passion. And I think that when you get to graduate school, one of the things that really makes it unique and different from your undergraduate experience is that you're able to really study the things that you care deeply about at a much deeper level than you were able to at an undergraduate level. And so you'll really be able to develop some expertise in areas that you really care about, which makes, I think, studying and learning much easier when you are actually learning things that you're interested in, which is one of the greatest things I think about graduate school. We've got a number of student support services in place to help you along your journey. I'm going to talk about a few of those here within the School of Social Work itself and then within the larger university setting. First, our Office of Advising and Student Success is led by Ms. Patrice Green, and her office is really designed primarily to help students reach their graduation goals. Our ultimate goal in all of this is to have every single one of you graduate from our program successfully and launch your careers as prepared, competent MSW level social workers. And so we have some programs in place through the Office of Advising and Student Success to help you on that journey. There are advisors that are MSW advisors. They actually have their MSW and have practice experience. So in addition to being able to help you decide what classes you need and help you troubleshoot any issues that you come across, they also can provide career counseling. So if you have questions about an area of social work that you are considering, please reach out to your advisor. They are ready and excited to talk with you about different career paths. They all have unique experiences and are happy to share those with you as you think about your own career path. The Office of Advising and Student Success is also where you'll go if you have problems with an instructor, if you have issues that come up in your personal life that are impacting your ability to do well in your courses. You'll want to reach out to Ms. Green or to your advisor so that they can point you to some of the resources that we have available to you to support you. We also have a number of writing resources that are available to you through that office, and I'll share those with you in just a minute. Hopefully you've already connected with your academic advisor. We have broken down our MSW advisors so that they are working with students with last names in different alphabetical categories. So if you have not heard from your advisor yet, please reach out to her so that you can make sure that you are enrolled in your courses and have everything you need to start the semester successfully in just a couple of weeks. There are also a number of university resources available to social work students, and I want to share a few of those with you. You're probably already familiar with the UT Arlington Maine homepage. This is kind of your one-stop shop for information about UTA. There's a search box in the top right-hand corner of your of the web page, and you can basically type in whatever it is you're looking for, and it's a really powerful search engine, so you can typically find whatever you need simply by typing in that search box. But kind of access to really everything you need from the university can be found right through this homepage. We also have a social work homepage, and this is where you can find links to the MSW program manual, information about field and field internship experiences, upcoming events, contact information for faculty and staff, as well as scholarship information. So it's a really good resource for you to familiarize yourself with if you haven't already. We have a career development center within the School of Social Work that is geared to preparing you to launch your career as an MSW social worker. I'd encourage you to explore it as you know, throughout the program. There are resources about preparing your resume specifically for social work type jobs. There are tips for interviewing for social work positions. There's also information about licensure there. We also post a number of different job opportunities there regularly. So even while you're a student, there's potentially job opportunities that you could engage in while you're a student and gain some social work experience. A number of these job opportunities do not require you to be here in the DFW Metroplex. Actually, we post jobs from around the state of Texas here, as well as jobs that you can do online. Our student affairs portion of the UTA website is important for one primary reason that I want to point out. They do a lot of different things, but one of the things that I want to call your attention to is this is where our Office for Students with Disabilities is housed. So if you at some time in your previous educational experience have been diagnosed with a learning disability or difference, and you have used accommodations in the past, I would encourage you to reach out to the Office for Students with Disabilities and go ahead and register with them. They can work with you to determine what kinds of accommodations you might need in your online coursework. You don't have to use those accommodations, but if you have registered with the office and then have them in your back pocket, if you find at any point in the program that you need those services, you can use them, you know, and let your instructor know that you need some accommodations to be successful in your various classes. So it's much easier to do that on the front end by going ahead and registering with them rather than waiting until you're halfway through the semester and you have a problem and you decide you need accommodations. It's harder to do that retroactively. So if that applies to you, I would encourage you to reach out to them before the semester starts. Some other resources to point you to. First, the UT Arlington bookstore. I'm going to show you how to actually search for the textbooks that you'll need this semester. So we'll go through that. Also, the Office of Information Technology, or OIT. They can help you figure out how to get your email to show up on your smartphone if you haven't been able to figure that out already. There are instructions on their website, but they can also walk you through it. There's also a lot of free software or discounted software available to students. So, if you don't have, for example, the Microsoft Office package, you can get it very cheaply through the Office of Information Technology since you're a student. There's also a number of other different kinds of fun software that you can purchase for discounted rates. So, finding your textbooks, if you go to www.uta.edu and then /bookstore, that will take you to our bookstore's website. From the website, you click on textbooks or books, and it will take you to this screen where you can enter the term that you're interested in. So you would enter fall 2019 and your student ID number, which is your 100 number. You will then see a list of the textbooks you need for your particular courses that semester. You can also, if you don't know your student ID number and don't want to track it down, you can also just put in a particular course and section number, and it will also give you the required textbooks for that particular course. Once you have the textbooks once you have the list of textbooks that you'll need, you can purchase them directly or rent them directly from the bookstore, or you can take that ISBN number and plug it into, Amazon or Google or whatever to find the best price to purchase your textbooks. So it's really up to you how you get them. I just want you to get them. All right. So some of you may know that UTA is in the process of switching from Blackboard, which was our previous classroom management system, to Canvas, which is our new system. And this is going to be how you access your online courses. So if you are not yet familiar with Canvas, you're not alone, because actually our faculty are also transitioning to Canvas. And so your instructors will be learning alongside you. I will tell you that I think Canvas is very easy to use. I was one of the guinea pigs for the university, and I taught in Canvas in the spring semester, last spring, as well as I'm teaching in it now. And I will tell you, absolutely all of the students in my courses have liked to use Canvas more so than Blackboard. They've enjoyed the intuitiveness of Canvas. They find it much easier to use than Blackboard. And so I think that you will also find that to be the case. But I want you to make sure that before the semester starts, you actually explore some of the resources that are available to familiarize yourself with Canvas. And so I'm going to show you, hold on one second. I am going to show you what some of those are. So the first thing I want to show you is the training resources that are available on UTA's website for Canvas. So you can see, if you just type in Canvas in that search bar at the top of the page, you will see this page come up. And basically there's lots of different ways to familiarize yourself with Canvas and how it works. You can see all of these different links will walk you through different pieces of how to get to know Canvas and get to know how it works. These are short little screencast videos. They're very easy to watch. They're pretty simple. So I would encourage you to kind of do a little bit of that before the semester starts, just so you're ready to start and and are already kind of familiar with how Canvas works. I wanted to also point you to the fact that there is a mobile app for Canvas that you can download on your smartphone. So you can actually participate in your online courses from your smartphone. The app is really user-friendly, and you can do just about anything you need to do, like participate in the discussion board, read posts, upload your assignments. You can do almost everything you need to do in your course from your phone. And so that makes it really great for students who are kind of on the go and are able to, read an article on their phone while they're waiting for something, or at lunch, on their lunch break, that kind of thing. It's really nice for students who are working full time and, are on the go all the time. I find it to be really useful. So that's one thing I wanted to share with you. The other thing I want to share with you about Canvas is the example course. And so let me make sure that I'm sharing the right thing with you before I get too far on this. This is the example course. So this is kind of what your course might look like in Canvas. You can see that in the middle of the screen, this is kind of these icons that you'll use most frequently. It tells you the name of your course. It tells you that you're in the School of Social Work. You can navigate through your course by using the modules. You can also download your syllabus and read about your instructor. If you click on modules, you will see that the course is organized into a series of folders or modules. Each of these modules is focused on a particular area of content. So you'll see different readings, typically different videos and podcasts that are related to that content. There may be PowerPoint slides or a presentation that you'll be watching that week. You'll also have a discussion board where you'll participate with your peers in responding to a prompt from your instructor. And then if any assignments are due, those will also be posted here in the modules. So you'll simply click through the modules you can kind of navigate through the course either using the left-hand menu on your screen, or you can navigate by going linearly by just clicking on the next button, and previous buttons, which are at the very bottom of every page within a particular module. So I think you, as I said, will find Canvas to be pretty simple to use. I don't think you'll have too much trouble with it. If you do have trouble, there's lots of resources on the university's website, as I was showing you, that can really support you in learning how to use Canvas. So the last thing I wanted to share with you related to Canvas is this Student Success and Advising course. So you should already have access to this course in your Canvas dashboard. And basically what this is, because we add you automatically. If you don't already see this when you log into Canvas, then you will soon, because we add students every week. So basically what this is kind of your one-stop shop in terms of resources from the Student Success and Advising office. You can link to your advisors from here. There are a number of writing resources that are connected to different writing assignments within your class. So if you look here in terms of presentations, there are basic writing guides for social workers. There is an overview of APA style, which is really important. That's the writing style we use in social work. There's also a guide to how to access the library. And these are all recorded presentations, video presentations to kind of walk you through the process. So I would encourage you to explore that once the semester starts. There's resources about every different type of writing assignment that we have in our program that are available here. So let's see. I want to go back to our presentation now. Okay, wait, hold on one second, sorry. All right, I just want to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. It's a little bit finicky with me. Here we go. Okay, so here we are, and we're going to continue. I may have said this already. If I didn't, please, please, please check your student email. I'd like you to check it every day, which is why I want you to download it to your smartphone. Your email is where you're going to get really important information from the school about things like scholarships and deadlines and registration. So it's an important resource for you as a student to really be on top of. All right, so finally, what some of you probably have been waiting for, because I always get the most questions about this, is our field education program. So in social work, as you already know, because you have already done a field placement as a BSW student, we find that field education is one of the most valuable parts of your social work educational journey because it gives you a unique opportunity to get hands-on experience in the field under the supervision of an experienced social worker. And I think this is really just critical to your transformation into an expert MSW social worker. And so getting that kind of experience is really valuable to prepare you for the field. Our field office is directed by Dr. Donetta Smith, who is our Assistant Dean of Field Education. And Dr. Smith is assisted by Ms. Andron Williams, who is an administrative assistant. She is in charge of the general email address for the field program, and you may receive emails from her about registration deadlines and things like that. She's a great person. If you have general questions about field, I would reach out to Ms. Williams first and see if you can get your question answered there. Ms. Monica Brown will be your field advisor. She is the field advisor for all advanced children and families students. So she will be helping you as you embark on your advanced field experience with children and families. Our field experience is guided by the Council on Social Work Education core competencies. Because you have a BSW in social work, you should already be familiar with these competencies. We are accredited by CSWE, and because of that, they hold us to a standard, which is that all of our graduating students have to demonstrate proficiency across all of these different areas. And we show that proficiency through evaluations of your advanced field internship, as well as your final integrative seminar paper that I talked about earlier. As you're thinking about field and what it's going to take from you, know that you need to start thinking now about how you're going to do your field placement and make it work given all of the other demands on your time. I know many of you are working both full and part-time jobs. Many of you have families that you're raising and other kinds of responsibilities. So you're going to need to start thinking now about what you're going to do to be able to find the time within your schedule to accommodate your field placement. Some of you will be starting field in the spring semester. Others of you will be starting in the summer semester. But regardless, now's the time to start talking with your employer about the possibility of flexing your schedules, the possibility of banking some vacation time, doing whatever you need to do on the front end to make sure that you can be successful in your field placement. You need to know that typically nights and weekend placements are limited. It's going to be very difficult to find a placement that is only on the weekend or at night. Certainly, there are some that are available, but they are not widely available. And so it's important to think about how you're going to make that work with your schedule. I've already said this, check your MAVS email often. The field office will communicate with you exclusively through your MAVS email account. So if you miss an email and you are not informed, you don't know about the deadline for applying for field and you miss it, they don't make exceptions. They expect that you will check your email often so that you will be informed of the deadlines that you need to be aware of in order to be successful in applying for field. Throughout the MSW program, you need to maintain a 3.0 GPA. A 3.0 is a B average, and this is a requirement for all graduate students at UTA. So what that means is that if you make a C in one of your courses, you need to make sure you also have an A to go with that C and balance it out. You want to aim for A's and B's, of course, but know that if you drop below a 3.0, you will not be able to enter your field placement. So you have to have that 3.0 to be able to go into field. And if you have a 2.999, that's not a 3.0, and you'll have to sit out of field for a semester before you can get your GPA back up. So I just want you to be aware that that's a really important piece. In terms of being ready for your advanced placement, you're all coming in with advanced standing status, so you've got that one covered. You'll need to have finished Social Work 5311, which is Advanced Micro Practice, and Social Work 5362, Direct Practice with Children and Families. And once you've finished both of those courses successfully, you'll be ready to enter your placement. Because you're cohort students, your cohort degree plan is set up so that you never have to worry about being ready for field. When it says on your degree plan that you'll be entering field, you should know that that means you've already had your prerequisites for field. So in terms of your hours, you have to do a minimum of 480 hours. And those hours can be split between 2 consecutive semesters. So those of you who are doing the accelerated program, you will do your placement over the spring and summer semesters, which becomes about 16 hours a week. It's a few more hours a week in the summer semester since the summer semester is shorter. You can also, and then those of you who are in the 16-month program, you'll do your placement in the summer and fall semesters. So, and then the advanced field placement hours can also be done in a block. And what that means is that you would do a minimum of 480 hours in one semester. This is really, really challenging, and I don't recommend it, especially for those of you who have any other responsibilities that you've got going on in your lives, because you're basically in your placement for 32 hours a week. And you're also trying to manage coursework on top of that. So it can be a whole lot. And I would really encourage you to do a split placement as opposed to a block placement. But that's just my opinion. So know that the block is an option for you. In terms of applying for field, you'll receive an email from the social work field office that will tell you that the application window is open. For those of you who are entering your field placement in the spring semester, the application window should open probably around October 1st, so be looking for that. You want to apply as soon as the application window opens because they are looked at on a first come first served basis, so you're more likely to get your first choice if you do it early. For those of you who are out of the DFW area, so I know we have a number of students that are living across the state of Texas, and some of you who are military connected are across the nation. In your case, you're going to be responsible for finding your own field placement, and what that means is that you will work with your field advisor, Monica Brown, to find a placement that works for you and your geographic location. If you're in a larger city in Texas, or even some of our smaller cities, we do have a number of agencies who are already connected with us because we have students who have done their placements at those agencies, and it's been a good experience. And we can provide you with a list of those. Just reach out to Monica and she can share those with you. If one of those agencies on that list is available and works for you, then that's a match. Otherwise, you can reach out to agencies on your own. You just have to remember that they have to be agencies that focus on children and families, and you have to have a supervisor who is an MSW social worker with at least 2 years experience in the field. So if you live in the DFW area, we will be able to match you. So you will not need to seek out your own placement, but we have over 700 agencies here in the Metroplex, and we should be able to find an agency that works for you. The role of your field liaison is the person that is actually the instructor of record with UTA, so that's your course instructor, and that's really the person who's kind of mediates the relationship between you and your field instructor at the agency. They also kind of keep tabs on you and make sure that everything's going okay in your placement, and they enter your final grade in MyMav for you at the end of the term. Know that in terms of addressing conflict or having questions, there is kind of a hierarchy in terms of the best way to approach it within field. First, you'll reach out to your field instructor, and that's the person at your agency. And then if you can't resolve something at that level, then you'll reach out to your field liaison, who is your UTA instructor. Then it will go to the field advisor, and then finally, if it escalates to the point that it needs to be dealt with at a higher level, it will go to the assistant dean. We ask that while you're in the MSW program generally, and specifically while you're in your field placement, that you abide by the NASW and State of Texas Codes of Ethics, that you are willing to accept feedback and supervision from your field instructor, and that you will reach out if problems happen and help us help you. There are important dates for field on the field calendar, start and end dates, things like that, application deadlines that you can access from the School of Social Work's webpage. Just click on field and you'll see the calendar there. There is also an online field orientation that's offered several times each semester. So as you're starting to think about field, I would encourage you to pay attention to emails that indicate when those field orientations will happen and see if you can attend one of them. They'll give you more information, more in-depth information than what I'm providing here today about field and how to set yourself up for success in field. I do get a few questions from students about licensing, and so I just wanted to make sure that you're understanding kind of how licensure works for MSW graduates. When you graduate from our program, you'll have an MSW degree. With that, you are then eligible to sit for the LMSW exam. About 2/3 of employers require the LMSW, so most of our students do end up sitting for the exam. During your final semester in the program, you can apply to take the exam with the Texas State Board of Social Work Examiners. They'll give you permission to take it, and then you can go to a local testing center in your area and you'll take the exam. You will receive notification immediately if you've passed. And then once you're licensed, you can actually get your physical license once you actually graduate. For those of you who are interested in licensure at the clinical practice level, which basically means that you can practice independently, you can have your own private practice as a social worker. You might be interested in the LCSW license. And the LCSW license is kind of the next step in terms of licensure. The LCSW requires 3,000 hours of supervised clinical social work experience. You have to have an employment, a job that is approved as clinical social work job, and that's something that's approved by the state. And then once you accumulate those 3,000 hours and you have documented that you have gotten 4 hours of monthly supervision from an LCSW supervisor, then you can apply for that licensing exam, which is administered the same way, and then you can be licensed as an LCSW or licensed clinical social worker. There are a number of research opportunities available through the school. First, we have graduate research assistantships available through our Office of Research. These are opportunities that are paid positions where you can work with faculty who have funded grant projects doing research in a variety of different areas. There will be applications that will come out on the listserv for opportunities that are available for 10 and 20-hour-a-week positions as graduate research assistants. These are available to both face-to-face and online students. Lots of these jobs are, jobs that can be done online and don't require your physical presence at a research site. So good opportunities for you if you are interested in learning more about research. The other option for you is to complete a thesis. A thesis is a really neat opportunity for you to get really hands-on and work in research and really develop a relationship with a faculty member here to personalize your program just a little bit more. We have about 50 faculty who are all active across different areas of social work practice and research. And so they are all really excited about talking about their interests and finding out if there are ways that they can collaborate with you and share the interests that you have related to a particular area of social work. Thesis is a really neat opportunity, and I would encourage those of you who are interested to really to think more about that. It replaces your integrative seminar class, that final semester class, and it will also, because you need 6 hours of thesis, you'll also use one of your elective credits for a thesis instead of that elective. I have had a number of online students in the past couple of semesters that have really enjoyed doing the thesis because it's allowed them to work closely with a faculty member and have a more personal relationship with that faculty member and learn more about research that they're interested in. So if that's something you might want to learn more about, please reach out to me and I can kind of walk you through it. And that would be a really neat thing to talk about. I'd love to talk about it with you. I would ask that while you're in the program that you remain professional in all the ways that you communicate with your peers and with your instructors and staff and in the School of Social Work. In social work, as you already know, we talk about some pretty controversial topics. And sometimes when you're in an online class, it's easy to hide behind your computer screen and maybe say some things on a discussion post or in an email that you might not typically say if you were face-to-face with a person. I would encourage you to make sure to remain professional in all the ways that you communicate and recognize that your peers are coming from a variety of different perspectives and paradigms. And when we talk about difficult issues that people disagree on, that as long as we're respectful, I think we can keep learning from one another and really experiencing what it's like to grow in an online learning community. So please keep that in mind as you work your way through your courses. And as you get frustrated, make sure you think twice before you post or send a message that you don't want to regret later on. In terms of getting connected with the school, I would encourage you to join a student organization. We have online students that participate and lead all of our organizations. Like I said before, half of our students are online. So please don't think that because you are not here on our campus, you cannot be just as involved as a student who is physically here. We've got tons of different student organizations within the School of Social Work. So there's bound to be one that piques your interest. There's information about them on our website. We'll also be sending information out regularly throughout the semester about meetings for different organizations. All of the meetings are live streamed so that you can participate as online students. So I would just encourage you to get involved in that way. It's a great way to network with other students. We're starting a new program this year called the Graduate Student Leader Program. And so basically what this is each of our cohorts will have an appointed graduate student leader who is one of you, who will serve in a leadership role for your cohort. That person will be an advocate and serve to facilitate the dissemination of information from the school to their particular cohort. They will also be kind of facilitate communication. So they'll have actually virtual live listening sessions with students in their cohort every other week, where they will hear from you about what's working and what's not working, and then they will bring those ideas and concerns back to me so that we can kind of continually improve the program and work to meet your needs. The GSLs that we'll be hiring, I want them to be really active in social media. So we're going to really kind of vamp up our social media presence. That will be really a great opportunity for those of you who are interested in serving in a GSL role for your cohort. You can apply. We will have an online application that will go out within the next 2 weeks. It'll be a pretty simple application. I'm looking for students who can demonstrate their leadership potential as well as their commitment to the profession of social work and UTA. And then who are experienced and involved in social media, so active on social media. GSLs will receive honor cords that they can wear at commencement, and they'll also get a free t-shirt each semester that they serve. But more importantly, I think that they'll really have the opportunity to gain leadership experience and really make some important lasting connections with other students that will set them up well for leadership positions once they graduate. So be looking for that opportunity if that's something that interests you. Otherwise, please know that you will be introduced to your cohort's GSL just as soon as the semester starts and we get going. And please know that they are a resource for you, and that you can reach out to them with concerns and questions whenever you need to. There's also another new program that's in place that UTA has just purchased. It's called Microsoft Teams, and it's really neat. I've kind of been playing with it a little bit this summer. What it is basically is a system where you can connect with other students in your cohort, and we can push information to you about events that pertain to your interests, that sort of thing, depending on, so because you're children and families, I will group all of you in a team, which is an online kind of network where you can communicate with one another and I can communicate with you as well. So I'm going to be sending more information about that as the semester gets rolling. I think it's going to be a neat way for you to engage with your peers, and also will kind of be a cool way for you to connect in real life with others that live near you. So be kind of looking for that. We'll give you more instructions about how exactly it works. I would encourage you, like I said, to participate in these online group sessions that will happen with your GSLs. We're going to bring in guest speakers for that to supplement what you're learning in the classroom. So try to engage as much as you can with your peers in your cohort. This is the network that you're going to develop that will follow you kind of throughout your career. So start now making those connections. We're going to have a weekly MSW newsletter. It will go out once a week, and it will compile the information that that will be relevant to you each week. So for example, we will send out in the newsletter important dates, registration information, scholarship application information. We'll be highlighting a student of the week each week. We'll also be posting job announcements and things like that there. So it's kind of your one-stop shop for MSW news, and that will go out to your email address. It will also be posted online and in our social media platforms every week too. And then I kind of mentioned this earlier, but if you're able, I would encourage you after you kind of get going in the semester to see about reaching out to others in your cohort and connecting in real life. There are bound to be others within a close geographic proximity to where you are. And if so, it would be great if you guys could meet up for coffee or happy hour just to really kind of connect and see each other in person. I think that can add value to your experience in the program, and I would encourage you to do that if you're able to. All right, so winding things up, this is my email address. You already have it. You've also been in contact with Ginger Jackson, who is the MSW program assistant. If you have questions, you can reach out to either of us or your academic advisor. Otherwise, I am going to open the floor up for questions. If you will, again, keep your microphone muted and participate via the chat feature, I will answer all the questions that come up here. So let's hear it. What do you have? Does anybody have any questions? Oh, there we go. Okay, I was going to say new record if I don't get any questions. Okay, let's see. Dana says, where did you say we can find the jobs that don't require a license? So we have a page on the School of Social Work website. It's our career services page, and we post all job announcements there. We also will post information about graduate research assistant opportunities on the website, and we'll compile these in the weekly newsletter as they come available too. So you can look in all of those different places, and you should find something there. Priscilla says, are you able to do your internship hours at your job placement if it falls under social work? So possibly. There are some rules about that. The number one rule being that it has to align with your specialty. So because you're children and families, it has to fall, it has to relate to children and families and social work practice with at the advanced level with children and families. You also cannot double dip, so you can't count hours that you're working for your job as your internship hours. They have to be separate and additional. And then it needs to be in a totally different department under a different supervisor. So you can't be doing the same thing for your job that you're doing for your internship. If you feel like you have a position, a job that could work for your internship, then I would encourage you to reach out to Monica Brown, who's your field advisor, to talk more about that possibility. There's actually a form that she can give you. It's also on the website. That is an agreement form that is signed by your employer, your potential supervisor, and kind of delineates those two roles and make sure that they're different. So I would reach out to Monica with specific questions about that. Carmen says, when do we need to register by? So you need to register as soon as possible. So please reach out to your advisor. If you're not able to have a phone appointment with your advisor can actually send you the courses that you need to register for, the section numbers, so you should be good as far as that goes. But definitely we need to get you registered so that you are ready to start the semester on time. So go ahead and do that. Can we do our field placement at the agency we are calling? Okay, Brooke, I feel like I kind of answered that question with the previous question. This is a question about, employment and field. So I'm going to assume that I answered that question already. Taylor says, when we apply for field, do we need to put the agency we would like to partner with on the application? Yes. So if you are outside of the Metroplex, you can put on the application the agency that you have contacted and established that you can do your placement with. If you are here inside the DFW Metroplex, then you'll see a list of the agencies that are available, and you'll be able to designate your first, second, and third choice there on the application itself. Let's see. If our courses are not listed yet on Canvas, by when should they appear? I would doubt that anyone has courses on Canvas yet. They will appear on the first day of class, just like as if you were in a face-to-face class and you would get your syllabus on, the first day when you came into your classroom. The online classes work in the same way. So your courses will appear on the first day of class. I wouldn't count on them showing up before then. Let's see. For field, if we want to go with an agency that is not on the list, how hard is it to get that approved? It's not hard at all, Juliana. It is just a matter of contacting Monica Brown, your field advisor, letting her know that you have an agency that you are considering working with, and she can kind of walk you through that process. It is not difficult, though, to get it approved. It's pretty simple because we do it all the time. Rosalie says, my advisor is currently out of the office. Is this okay to wait to register for the classes I need? I'm part of the 24-month program. Yes, absolutely, Rosalie. Do not worry. Your advisor, I think, is, let's see, who is your advisor? Mauricia Davis. And you're right, she is out of the office, but she will be back in on Monday. So there is no need to worry about that.
Yeah.
Definitely get
I was
you.
making little goal wheels.
So please don't stress
With my
about
kids.
that.
I completely forgot about that.
Mary says, is there a commencement ceremony for students graduating in summer 2020? When in August 2020 do we graduate? Okay, so actually, you guys are in luck because for the first time in a number of years, the university is reinstating summer graduation. We have not had a summer commencement
What is
ceremony
that?
Roberta
for a really
Wilhouse,
long
is that you
time.
again?
And starting in summer 2020, we will have a graduation
Oh, it's me.
ceremony. So you will have the option, regardless of whether you graduate in August or in December, you have the option of, well, I said that incorrectly. If you are graduating, if you're finishing the program in August, you have the option of participating in the graduation ceremony that will happen in August or in December. If you're graduating in December, you don't have that option. You only can participate in December's graduation ceremony. To find the dates for graduation and the end of the term and all of that, if you go to the UTA website and in that search box, if you type academic calendar, you can see the academic calendar for the next, probably 8 semesters. So you'll be able to know when the start and end dates of the semester are for the next foreseeable future. Certainly well past when you are scheduled to graduate. Tracy says, when is the last day to pay for classes so you won't get dropped from them? I do not know. That is a great question. I would say that information is probably available online, but I am not, sorry, I'm not, I don't deal with the tuition and the financial aid piece, so I don't know when payment is required. But I bet you could easily get that information online. Or if someone else knows that's on the call right now, you are welcome to respond to Tracy's question as well. Keandra says, how do I get to Canvas again? So you can get to Canvas on the main social work page. I can actually, let me show you where that is since we're all here together right now, and it'll be easy in case you missed it before. If you go to the main School of Social Work page, and you see in the very top left-hand corner, you see links. You can see MyMav, your email, a link to Blackboard, which you won't need, and then your link to Canvas. And that's where you can get into Canvas from the web page. Like I said, you can also download it on your smartphone and access it from there. So hopefully that was helpful. Let's see. Esmeralda says the 5315 class you had on the degree plan is not on the one I was given. Okay. If you received your degree plan, Esmeralda, I'm not sure. We did make some changes to the degree plan in July. So if you got your degree plan prior to July, it may have changed slightly. So if you're concerned about that, then I would reach out to your advisor. We actually also have updated degree plans available for download on the website as well. So you can reach out there and get the information you need, or you can email me and I can send you the correct degree plan as well. Let's see, Jorge says, does the part-time 24-month program will have to change to either the 16-month or the 12-month, or are they trying to make accommodations? So we are trying to do accommodations for you. most of the classes that you will need if you were part of the part-time program, you will be able to join the classes with the full-time cohort. So your degree plan had you taking 6 hours a semester, whereas, for example, let's say the 16-month cohort has those students are taking 9 hours a semester. So the classes that you guys are taking overlap. So you should be fine as far as that goes. But I just want to alert you to the fact that we're not going to have designated courses for your particular cohort. We're going to try and work you in to other cohort courses to accommodate you, because we're not. Right now, we only have 10 students that have selected the part-time program, and we can't run a class with only 10 students. That's a university policy. So we're trying to kind of adjust that and make it work so that you can still get the classes you need, even though we won't be able to offer standalone classes for your cohort. I hope that makes sense. Maria says it was mentioned that the field application opens in early October. I have to find my internship since I live in Houston, and I was able to have an interview for a possible internship. I was asked if I could do orientation hours this fall. Could they roll over to the next semester, or should I wait for the spring once field starts? Wow, you are on top of things, Maria. My understanding is that you are able to participate in orientation prior to the semester starting. I would clarify that with Monica, your field advisor. But yes, I do think there's a limited number of orientation hours that will count for you that you can do prior to the spring semester starting. Diana says, should we order books ahead of time or wait until the first day? If we are overseas military, will there still be a way to complete field? So welcome, Diana. So in terms of ordering books, I would go ahead and order them if you see them for your class on the UTA bookstore website. Go ahead and order them. It takes a while to get them, so you might as well just order them. If they say they're required, they're going to be required, and you're going to need them for your course. So I would go ahead and be proactive and do that. And then yes, as long as you've been accepted to the program, and you've told us that you are military, then we allow the exception for you to be able to do field in your location. You just want to reach out again to Monica to let her know that you're overseas and that that it's going to take a little bit of extra work to help you get situated with your placement. But yes, we do assist you, and we'll help you figure that out. Sherry says, I know it is hard to partner with evening and weekend agencies. If we know of some, can we contact you to inquire? So again, if you have questions about field, in terms of individual placements and things like that, the best contact for you is going to be your field advisor, not me, because I am not really on the ground working with field agencies. In my role as director, I'm overseeing the curriculum. I'm making sure that you have a good experience and getting your feedback, but I'm not directly involved in the field placement process. So if there are agencies that you want to reach out to, you're welcome to do that. I would encourage you to reach out to Monica with specific questions you have about particular agencies. Melani says, do you know of anyone who has been able to complete the 12 or 16-month program while working for CPS? Melani, am not completely familiar. I do think that we have had students do that. I know we have a number of students who do work for CPS. I think that it's a possibility. If you are trying to do your internship and do the stipend program, I don't know if that's a possibility and if that's something you're doing. I think you may need to do a more part-time type of schedule. So a good person to ask would be Karen Jones. She's kind of the person in charge of our CPS placements and child welfare stipend program. Karen is one of our staff, and her email address is karen.jones@uta.edu. Let's see, Taylor says, is there a list on the website of partnering agencies for field? Your field advisor, Monica, can actually give you the list of agencies that are in your area. If you are outside of the DFW Metroplex, she can give you a list of the agencies that are in your geographic vicinity that have already partnered with us. If you are here local in DFW, you will see a list of agencies when you apply. As part of the application process, you'll see a drop-down list that includes the agencies there. Okay, let's see. Anna says, if I choose to do my field placement with Department of Family Protective Services but did not want to do it with CPS, would doing my internship with the area that works with SNAP and Medicaid be considered as children and families? Probably, possibly. I would, again, I'm sorry, I know I sound like a broken record, but that's probably something to run by your field advisor. She can specifically look at the tasks that you would be doing and see how they align with the competencies at the children, advanced competencies for children and families, and let you know whether that seems like a good fit. So I would say that's probably a more individual question for your field advisor. Okay, let's see. Oh, thanks, Juliana. So Tracy, I'm not sure if you saw this, but Juliana has a response to your question talking about when payment is due. Let's see. Samantha says, if I'm currently in the 12-month program, is it an issue to switch to the 16-month program at this point, even if I'm already enrolled in classes? Absolutely not. There is still time to switch. And we have room, so that is not a problem, Samantha. I would just have you email your advisor, Valerie, and she can help you get switched into the other cohort, and shouldn't be a problem. Okay, let's see. Do we need school IDs? You do not need to get a school ID, a physical school ID, because that would be used if you are accessing, for example, the library on campus. And because you're online students, you won't need to do that. So no, it is not required that you get a school ID. Let's see. Esmeralda says, I know this is probably different for every class, but does the coursework consist primarily of papers, discussions, quizzes, etc.? What does the coursework look like? You're right. I really can't answer that. It's different for every class. You'll have courses that will have midterm and final exams and weekly quizzes. You'll also have courses that don't have any exams or quizzes and just rely on papers. So it kind of just depends. They're all different and they all have a lot of variety. You will probably have some group work projects to do, and so that will be done with by organizing with different people in your classes, with your peers. You'll be able to meet virtually online through Canvas at a time that it works for your small group. But I would assume that most of you at some point in your program will do at least a couple of group projects. Okay, so Brianna says she starts her field placement in January and her baby's due date is January 22nd. it is not possible to start your field placement hours now. I'm so sorry. Congratulations, though, on your baby. I would encourage you to talk with Monica to see what kind of accommodations can be made and whether your schedule can be adjusted in the spring semester to make it work so that you can still complete a field placement in the spring, or whether it might make more sense for you to do it in the summer. Let's see. Okay. So that's all the questions I see right now. I appreciate some of you that are helping out with the questions about due dates. It looks like Rosalie says that for fall, the regular fall deadline for payment is August 15th. So that's very helpful. Thank you so much for doing kind of that background research. Anyway, I just want to thank you all for participating in the call. So I feel like I see that there's a little bit of confusion about that accelerated advanced standing degree plan. I would encourage you to reach out to your advisor if you're confused about which degree plan is the right one for you. And I apologize for contributing to that confusion. This has been recorded, and you will get a link to be able to watch the recording. It takes about a day to process, and then it will be available on YouTube, and we'll send the link available to all of you. So any remaining questions, I would like for you to email me directly, and I will try to get those answered because I want to make sure that we end on time here. Thank you all so much for participating, and I am looking forward to getting to know each of you as you start the program. So have a great rest of your summer, and we'll see you this fall. Thanks.